No, they're just still. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and welcome here tonight to number 12 Burramine Road here in Glen Waverley. A couple of weeks from Christmas and wonderful opportunity to purchase an outstanding property here in the heart of Glen Waverley. Buyers, my name's Andrew Davis. It gives me great pleasure to be your auctioneer here today on Friday the 10th of December 2021. We bring to you the auction described as 12 Burramine Road. A price to be determined under the auction conditions. If you are the successful bidder today, a deposit equaling 10% of the price that you bid and buy for is what you are required to bring forward here this evening. And if you are that successful bidder, the vendors, they can offer you a settlement as soon as 90 days from today's date, but no longer than 150 days. So there is great flexibility there, providing that the settlement is 90 days and no longer than 150 days from today's date. As I said, you'll be buying number 12 here in Burramine Road. It is a public auction, which means that there is no cooling off period, and there is the deposit, as I say, is payable here this evening. Buyers, your team, your wonderful Ray White team, Daryl, Hien, Alan, they've been here to assist you through the campaign, and they're again here tonight to make your life from this point through to a purchase a very straightforward one. You're buying, as I said, an outstanding property. The auction rules of conduct have been on display here prior to today's auction. The most important rule is that I can't accept a late bidder offer. Once the property has been declared sold here tonight, it has been sold. So if you've been bidding, I will ask for your clarity as to whether you finished bidding, and then we know that we can move forward and sell away tonight to the highest bidder. I'm confident of a sale here this evening. Vendors have set what I believe to be an extremely realistic reserve price, and the fact that there are quite a number of people here tonight, you see great value, you've got great confidence not only in the market but in what is on offer here in Burramine Road. Central Glen Waverley locations don't come much finer than here. Zoning, of course, to Glen Waverley Secondary, easy, short, flat walking distance, only 10 or so minutes back up to the Glen, back up to the railway station. There are restaurants and cafes. It's lovely to wander down the Kingsway at the moment and see the traders have been hard at work, and that wonderful setting, fairy lights really setting the festive season off now, and great to see the streets full of people again enjoying the cafe and the culture here in Glen Waverley. Buyers, it is an outstanding opportunity for many reasons. It is a very solid family home that is here. There is wonderful scope should you wish to update and to improve the existing 3-bedroom home. The extensive garage and workshop area down below for those that are possibly running a home office, a home hobby, looking for that additional storage space, maybe with growing families. There's always need for storage, and you've got that here in abundance. Double garage, and then at least the same again back underneath the property. For those that are looking at it saying, I love the elevated position, I love the 766 square metres of land, broad frontage on the block, rectangular dimensions, gives you that option to talk to the council. Of course, all the options are subject to their approval, but a new home site, unit development, those are the things that you may wish to discuss with the council, and certainly with those dimensions and the opportunity there to have a great discussion about either a new home or a development here, buyers. But the first ingredient to the whole equation is you need to purchase the property here today. The team are here to assist you with your bidding. We've come here to assist to sell. To have a photo next to the sold board for the lucky bidder is the opportunity that lies in front of you now, buyers. I'm not going to hold you back any further. Here, number 12, Burramine Road, here in Glen Waverley. Offer will bid to start. Where do we start here this evening, buyers? In your hands, opening bid or offer to get us underway. Don't mind where we start here tonight, buyers, in your hands. Opening bid or offer to get us underway. 1.8, welcome ma'am, $1,800,000 that call it, $1,800,000. Let's move together in a $50,000 rise from there. Head $1,800,000 and good luck with your bidding here tonight. Head $1,800,000's the call, can we say 50 anywhere at all now, buyers? Head $1,800,000's the call and away we go, can we say 50 on top? Head $1,800,000, good confidence start bidding there. Head $1,800,000 got a bid to buy, and to give yourself that chance this evening at $1,800,000. Looking for 50 on top anywhere now. Are we all done? Surely not. Head $1,800,000 buyers. Well, call away first time. Head $1,800,000. Looking for that 50,000 in the rise anywhere now. The team are here to assist, as I've said, to write the bids down. then to give the encouragement and confidence to bid here tonight at $1,800,000. Second time at $1,800,000. Opening bid is there. Confidence start at $1,800,000. Buyers, don't miss the opportunity here this evening. I might make your life easier and take it 25 if that helps. At $1,800,000's the bid. Does that tempt a hand in the air? 25 there. At 25's bid, can we say 50? At 25's bid, can we say 50 here or anywhere at all tonight? At $1,825 the call. At $1,825, got a bid to buy. At $825's the bid there. Call it 50 now. What do we say, yes or no? At $1,825. Two in the competition now. 25 in the rise if you like anywhere. 825 is here against you earlier now at $1,825,000. Team are here to assist you. Realistic sellers inside, buyers $1,825,000 within striking distance of a sale tonight at $1,825,000. Had some bidding from you earlier. Welcome again there if you like at $1,825,000. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 calls and away we go again at $1,825,000. Well call once and the bidding at $1,825,000 here. Second time now at $1,825,000. The bids here on the right hand side at $1,825,000. Can we tempt you bidding all back with yourself, ma'am, if you like? At $825,000 the call. Can we say 50 now? At $1,825,000. Well call away, third and final time. Are we all done? And finished here tonight at $1,825,000. Last opportunity for a $25,000 rise. Buyers, we're below a selling point at this stage, but our highest bidder is in the box seat to negotiate if we don't see further bidding here tonight at $1,825,000. Your next bid would be 50 on top at $1,825,000. Biddings here on the right now at $825's the call, tempting you back in for a $25,000 rise anywhere now. Can we call it 50? At $825's the bid here.
On the market yet?
No, not yet, sir, but you're not holding the highest. I'd welcome you in and you'll give yourself a chance at $1,825,000. Current highest bid is here. At $825's the call, 50 would be the next bid, and I'd welcome you there. Or ma'am from earlier now. At $825's the call, got a bid to buy. At $825 we've got there $1,825,000. 50 if you like. At $825's the call. $1,825,000. Had bidding from 2 so far. At $1,825,000. I know there's interest here, buyers, an opportunity like this is a wonderful one here in our market. 766 square metres of land at $1,825,000. Gentleman here is seeing value, and ma'am earlier tonight at $1,825,000. What do we say? Are we all done? At $1,825,000. Team here giving you plenty of encouragement. Need to hold the highest bid at $1,825,000. Needs to be 25 on top. And I tempt you in at $1,850,000. 25's the bid. $1,825,000. 25 on top. Make it 50 if you like. $1,825,000. $850 there it is. Welcome back there, and same chance here, and also on the left hand side. 3 in the competition here and now, buyers at $1,850,000. I'll make everyone's life easy from here, and I'll take 10 to keep things moving in the right direction now at $1,850,000. I can't yet call it on the market, but I'll give you pretty clear indications that we're not far away. At $1,850,000, you're in the box seat there now. Calling 10 on top, what do we say? At $850 is the call, can we say 10? Does that tempt new bidding or previous bidders back in the fold now? At $1,850,000, yell out if I can't see your bid today at $1,850,000. Had bidding from here and also on the right at $1,850,000. Taking 10. 10's the bid to stay in it now. $1,850,000, highest bids across the street there at $1,850,000. $1,850,000 there. 10,000 or better bid, buyers at $1,850,000. Your chance to purchase a sensational piece of Glen Waverley real estate here tonight. $1,850,000. The call is here now, buyers. 3 calls, and we'll head inside and get some instructions at $1,850,000 is the call. Looking for 10 on top, buyers at $1,850,000. Well, call away once, the bid at $1,850,000. second time at $1,850,000. Calling 10 or better bid at $1,850,000 is the call now, buyers. You've heard it for the third and final opportunity. Are we all done and finished here tonight at $1,850,000? Sir, ma'am, just give me a moment. I'm going to seek some instructions from the vendors inside. For those that bid and those that haven't, I encourage you to consider your next offer. We'll be out and back with you in just a couple of minutes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for your patience here this evening. We have had quite a shift inside, buyers. I believe there's been some instructions across the road, increased offer. We went inside at $1,850,000. Decision is to reopen the bidding and call for a $10,000 rise, buyers. This is the stage of the auction that you want to get involved at $10,000 rise, and that's what we need to be able to let you know that we are on the market selling away tonight. $1,860,000. 10,000 or better bid to go from here, buyers. Here playing for keeps. Here now selling to the highest bidder at $1,860,000. Call for 10 or better bid here tonight at $1,860,000. If not, we sell away on the right hand side at $1,860,000 for 10 or better offer now. At $1,860,000 the call, buyers. You'll hear 3 loud calls and then we sell away. At $1,860,000 the bids there on the right hand side. At $1,860,000, 766 square metres of land here to be sold tonight. At $1,860,000, as I said, 10% deposit down tonight. 90 to 150 days vacant possession settlement. At $1,860,000. We've had bidding from 3 other parties. They're your clear instructions that we sell from here. At $1,860,000 the call. 860 we're bid. 10,000 or better offer will keep you in the auction. 65 will move together, buyers. I don't mind the lower bids, you just need to keep them rolling here. And same chance of course. At 865 is the bid and 70 can we say. At 65 or do you stay strong in a $10,000 rise? At $1,865,000. 5,000 more. 70. Do we go 5 again? At 70's bid. At $1,870,000 now. Yell out there if there's further instructions, Daryl. At $1,870,000. We've had 4 in the auction now. At 70's the call for 5 if you like. At 70's bid now. What's happening here, Al? $1,870,000. We've got it on the market for you, sir. We're giving you a chance to purchase tonight at $1,870,000. That right's currently going to our highest bidder across the road there. At $1,870,000 the bid, buyers. This is the stage of the auction where you need to make sure you're the highest bidder. At $1,870,000 is the call. Have we got your best here tonight? At $1,870,000. Just let Alan know, he'll yell out your bid. $1,870,000. Daryl, have we reached the summit here? Is there further bidding? At $1,870,000 the call. $1,870,000. Biddings there, $1,870,000. Very soon you'll hear 3 calls and we sell away at $1,870,000. Ma'am, you're bidding earlier. Is there any further rise today? At $1,870,000. Need to know your instructions. At $1,870,000, buyers. Here's the 3 calls and we sell now at $1,870,000. First time at $1,870,000. Can you just clarify, Al, if there's further bidding there? $870,000 is the bid. $1,870,000. What do we say? $1,870,000 now. Do we make it 75? Or just maybe that knockout straight at 1.9? $1,870,000 we've got. $1,870,000. What are our thoughts here now? $1,870,000. 5 or high bid, knockout, give yourself a chance to buy. For those that haven't yet bid, it's not too late of course. At $1,870,000, the highest bidder is there. If you've just arrived, we are on the market selling away to the highest bidder tonight at $1,870,000. Alan, are there further instructions there? All done. $1,870,000. Daryl, is there further bidding here on the right hand side? $1,870,000, as I said, 5,000 or better bid will keep you in the auction tonight. That's all you need to stay in front. You never know your luck here tonight at $1,870,000. Buyers, are we all done and finished here tonight at $1,870,000 the call? Let me know here if there's any change of mind. We need to get your bid in before the knockdown at $1,870,000. Here are your 3 calls, ladies and gentlemen, at $1,870,000. Call to 8 first time at $1,870,000. Second time now. At $1,870,000. Just a reminder, we can't accept late bids or offers. If you are here to purchase, you need to make yourself known now, buyers. At $1,870,000. Twist your arm one more time. No, we're all done. At $1,870,000. 72. 72 now. Another 2. 74. Do we have to wait 6 minutes for the next one? 74. 75. 75 out. 1,875,000. So we just go another 5 on top. 75 we've got locked away now. 1,875,000. Biddings there, 1,875,000. A 5,000. 80 now. 80's bid. 1,880,000. We add another 1,000. All done. 1,880,000 is the call, buyers. Looks like we might have reached the point of no return here tonight at $1,880,000. But this is your chance if you've arrived here with the intention to buy. We are selling away now at $1,880,000. Well call once, all done. At $1,880,000. Second time in your favour, if there's no better bid, are we sure? At $1,880,000, buyers. I'm looking into the sun. You need to yell out if you're here to bid and I can't see you. At $1,880,000. And you've heard it now, third and final time. Definitely out up the road. All done. At $1,880,000. Last chance we sell away at $1,880,000 the call. We are selling. We are sold, and congratulations. Well purchased here tonight to our underbidders. Thanks for bidding.